Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Since we're in the throes of a Mercury retrograde, I thought this would be a good time to check in, see what kind of challenges or opportunities are in front of us, and hopefully thrive. Nonetheless, even though we're in a retrograde, sometimes it can actually be healing or can help us release things. So we'll go into it with that kind of mindset. I always like to begin with a quick check-in on my pup. Apollo's resting. We're going to let him do just that. Without wasting any time, let's get straight into the reading. Please close your eyes for a moment. Place your feet on the ground. Take a nice deep breath and feel the energy of the sun above you. Just imagine that there's a beautiful ray of light that is wrapping around your body. And let's pull a first card here to see what's coming through as the lesson for the retrograde. So we have energy around money, cycles, and also self-worth. Let's pull a card to help see where that might be taking us. And then we have a card here that would normally be connected to doing what others expect, the School of Fish here. So let's begin. All right, Wheel of Fortune. I was just having a chat with a friend of mine who kept pulling this card for himself, and I reminded him that it's not always simply about money. It is very much like the World card, where it keeps moving, keeps spinning, and it's about cycles in your life that might be coming to a close, perfectly connected here to the retrograde. As I mentioned, if we look at this not just as money, but like value, self-worth, from a karmic perspective, this is what really kind of reads as the main focal point. Decide once and for all in this moment in time that you're ready, worthy, and willing to do something, and invite that energy in. See yourself as worthwhile, worthy, valuable. And if there's anything in your life that is holding you back from that, it could be a person that you're hanging out with, it could be an environment that you're in. This is a time to start to, like the Wheel of Fortune, move in a different direction. If there's a goal that you've set, this is the time also to create some movement and momentum with that. If there's discomfort or some sort of friction with your current relationship to money, you're looking at the bills, trying to figure out how you're going to pay all of them, or you're not getting paid enough at a job. Or again, in a relationship, you're being taken for granted. You're not feeling like you're valued. Wherever it is where you're not getting enough, but specifically when it comes to the exchange of resources like money, this is the time to really stand up for yourself. We see someone here that has created that, I guess it's like a loom, but they've created the shirt on there, and it takes time, stitch by stitch, day by day. So things don't necessarily reset in one 24-hour period or in one retrograde period. So this card reminds you that you're at the beginning of a sort of correction and hopefully a really nice like growth spurt. But it takes that moment of realizing, I don't want to do this, but I want to do this. And I'm going to each and every day breathe a little bit more energy, take a little bit more time, invest a little bit more in that. Okay. All right. Modifying the wheel, we have the fish, more specifically a school of fish. Some of you are thinking of going back to school or getting certification or learning something new. So yes to all of the above, because it helps you connect with that feeling of being worthy and valuable. And indeed, it might be a skill that comes into play, helping you grow your abundance or your wealth. This card, it can kind of go one of two extremes. First of all, it's power in numbers. So together with your friends, your family, your coworkers, etc., you can accomplish a lot. Sometimes you get lost in the shuffle. This school of fish is powerful because it's big, but if you were trying to pick yourself out of that school of fish, it's sometimes hard. So I think there are moments where you're going to need to pull out of this group energy and do your own thing, and then you can always come back in. And if there's anyone in your life where they feel like it's an all or nothing, you always have to do what the group is saying, not so much. I feel like you have to stand your ground in some of these situations. But I do like this overall connection here. New cycles in your life, connecting you with greater value and worth. The fish coming through as an indication of school education and the power of teamwork. The only caveat is sometimes peer pressure, familial pressure, and just the environment where you're living or working. That has an effect on you, and sometimes you might do something that you don't want to do. So remember that you're working in your direction, not just going with the flow, all right? that's that. So karmically, we're looking at money, we're looking at self-worth, we're looking at dynamics with other people in our life. All right, let's take a look now at what you can do right here, right now to make the most of it. So what's the opportunity? Rest. Rest is the hardest thing. Four of Swords. All right, show me a little bit more about why rest is coming through. Okay. So we have a creativity card with it, but let's begin with rest. So the Four of Swords, we have the beautiful butterfly above this person, and that, to me, it looks like this person is dead tired. Like, stick a fork in it, they've worked too long, and it's like when you fall asleep at the computer or at the wheel when you're driving. Please don't do that, but I'm sure many of us have been there. Or when you just sit down for a minute and think, okay, I'm just going to catch my breath and then I'm going to make dinner, and you wake up and it's like 8 o'clock. So I want you to take care of yourself and don't get to that point. Our bodies are amazing. Our ability to heal and rebound is, just something to really embrace, but we have limits. And just like a car that has to go in for maintenance, if you push yourself too much and you don't do that preventative maintenance, it costs more. It takes more time. It takes more energy or more money. So get ample sleep. And it's not just the quantity, it's the quality, because each and every one of us requires a different amount of sleep. But are you fully resting? Are you getting your REM cycles? Is there any sleep apnea? Are you waking up for no reason because you're stressed? How's the blood pressure? Look at all of that to make sure that you're actually decompressing. So this is just the final act of meditation and rest that we call sleep, but there's a lot of things that take us into that. So making sure that you get a little bit of exercise during the day, meditating before you go to bed to clear your mind, and giving yourself enough time as you wind down and get up in the morning so that your body can fully lean into it. Some of you are just done with a person, place, or thing. Something has come to an end cycle. It has served its greater good, and now is a period to rest, recalibrate, and relax. So that's why we're seeing these two cards coming through. The Four of Swords giving you permission and a nudge to release it, okay? So rest, released, and then we finally have that metamorphosis that will come through. I get so much energy and insight and also like psychic downloads in my sleep. So it's almost a reward. If I give myself enough time to rest, I can usually think myself through a problem. So try that and see if it works for you too. All right, so we have a creativity card, rest, and I was like, why do they have to rest? And it says, craft your focus. This is so that when you are awake and when you're working and when you're trying to apply yourself, that a rested mind is a productive mind. A tired mind makes mistakes, gets impatient, takes shortcuts, and so your creativity, your craft, is going to benefit from the rest. And some of you also are ready to move on from one craft to another. So you may find yourself at a career sort of juncture where it's time to move into something new, okay? But give yourself a rest. I know we all have different responsibilities and pressures, and it's not easy for all of us, but the cards are showing this would be advantageous. All right, so we saw karma, we saw the opportunity. What's the block right now? What is it that could be holding you back? And then we'll look at what's coming through after that. All right, so what's the block? Okay, it's change, chaos, disorganization, and just the world at large. Let's narrow it down a little bit. Okay, so the gate represents something new in your life. And sometimes when we're trying to both wrap up one thing and begin something new, it's chaotic. Ends and beginnings can sometimes be a little chaotic. This is very much the world energy altogether. Let's begin with the Tower card. This is represented here, of course, by the Blasted Oak, titled slightly differently, but still has the same energy, particularly with the lightning, which is what I want to start on. So with lightning, it represents a visual sign, like you see something often before you hear it or feel it. Just like you would thunder, it follows the lightning. So you may notice something. Something doesn't check out right. Maybe I should look into that. Take that cue. The next thing that happens is you hear something, and then the vibration comes and you feel something. So there's actually like 2 or 3 different levels of awareness and awakening. Seeing, hearing, and the hearing can be your clairaudience, like, oh, I should do this. And then feeling it, like, now I know I have to do it. And then the tower happens. So 3 knocks at the door before it opens. If you pay attention to those, and if you get ahead of things and answer the door early, you may end up actually thriving in the energy of the blasted oak or the tower because we had the gate coming through. You can use the opportunity, change, to open up something new, the gate. An example is, I mentioned, this can hit in multiple areas. It can be your health, your finances, your work, your relationships. So if it's a job, for instance, and you know that there's potentially going to be a takeover or merger or a new boss coming in, you can use this opportunity to reframe what your position might look like and say, I'd love to be a part of the discussions when the change starts to happen. You're getting ahead of it. When your health is kind of not feeling 100%, you can get to the doctor and maybe catch something early and take preventative measures. You're opening up a new path. You don't have to continue on the old one. And that's the important thing. The old way is no longer available. It's blocked. And you're starting to create a new path, a better path. Whatever's fallen out of your life, including a relationship, it's something better awaits. It doesn't take away the pain or the discomfort of the moment, but with the gate, it's showing, be open to the opportunities. The best is yet to come. I put that as a title on one of my daily card reads, and I really do believe that if we operate each day with that, we start to avail ourselves to better pathways. You might have to let the dust settle if you've just started something. So this can be construction, this can be development, and then this is the final phase of it. And it's going to take a little bit of time to be able to see the shape and form of something. So be aware, be proactive, and be open to trying something different, okay? That was a lot. That was great, actually. So now let's see what the opportunity is. The block is just some of us don't want to lean into change, but the change is happening. All right, so where does this all take us in the retrograde cycle? 6 of Pentacles, which is a newfound balance. I'll take it. And let's clarify this one. Okay, we have maybe 2 cards here. Yeah, 2 cards that wanted to come through. Okay, we had no reversals until that, which is good. All right, so both of these came through reverse, but the first one is Rumi, which is mystical knowing. Breaking boundaries, personal experiences of God or spirituality. And then the second card here was Venus, light activation, call to action, power surge, earth mission. So we'll start off with this, mystical knowing. The tower had 3 knocks. So there's 3 different ways that you're being awakened to a necessary change. Are you listening? Especially the clairaudient one, especially the thunder. Are you hearing and feeling what the next move should be? If not, take time in this moment in time to tune in. I'm starting with the oracle cards, and we'll get into the other one in a second. For some reason, it needed to be reversed here. Venus, love and relationships, but also like light activation. This is a time to be proactive and to reclaim your power and get back to what you came to this planet to do. And then the card that I chose here was the 6 of Pentacles, balance. So you're in the position of the person holding the scales. They're looking at the people that are holding out their hands, which puts you in a position of discernment. It's basically saying, this illustration, you have more capacity, more power, and more opportunity to establish balance than you might think. It requires making difficult decisions and saying no, which is not always easy. Here's the traditional one. So if we zoomed out and looked at how it would look from afar, you're the one holding the scales and doling out the coins. But the way it was shown here was just the people holding out the coins. So you're that person. That means you'll have to weigh things out. Those are the scales. Does this make sense? Will it pay off? Is this how I should be spending my time? Do I get reciprocity when I engage in these sort of things? If the answer is yes, then go for it. If the answer is no, you might have to say no, or you might have to do less in that area than you normally would, okay? Ultimately, this does show a newfound balance, and that if you make smart decisions, you'll have more than enough, but it requires discernment and maybe a daily calibration, a check-in, okay? A quick review of everything that I picked up on. Karmically, it's all about worth, self-worth, also your relationship with money, the flow of resources, and then also the dynamics between you and other people. So there are times where you're going to lean into that school of fish or that group energy, and there's times where you're going to go in your own path. Also a great time for continuing education. Rest, rest, rest. This is what's going to help you power through this. If you enter into the tower without the rest, it feels more chaotic. Your creativity is coming through and can, in fact, help you open up something new, so you're not stuck unless you think you're stuck. And as we look at the future state, we find a newfound balance. So this is bringing in more, but you have to rest and release in order to be able to sort of like grow and develop in this period of time. We also see relationships and esoteric or psychic energy coming through. So this is a great time to get creative and to really lean into the creative thinking. I was telling a friend the other day that I had this phrase where it's like, I'm creatively optimistic because I'm going to try to create what I'm looking for. Instead of cautiously optimistic, why be cautiously optimistic? Create the path at which you think and you want and you desire. Okay? Hopefully you have everything you need now to thrive in retrograde, but if you ever need some more support, you can always reach out to me. I do offer a few private readings on my website. You can check for rates and availability there. If you would like to show love and support and just say thank you, there's a few ways to do this. The easiest and the free way to do it is just to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment. Let me know what you're going through and what resonated. I read every comment, and it's great to see how these readings connect with you. Remember to follow me on social media as well. It's always my full name on all major platforms unless otherwise listed. You can always go to my website for more information about that. You can, right here on YouTube, give back through the form of super stickers, super chat, and memberships. All of these things allow me to continue doing videos just like this. So thank you so much. If you'd prefer to also show support elsewhere, you can do it through PayPal. The link is right there. But again, you can always go to my main website, and all of this is in the navigation. Okay, folks, thank you so much for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube. I hope you have a fantastic weekend ahead, and also you're going to be fine in retrograde. It's just about breathing, being present, and remembering the big message was about worth, self-worth, and then creating a new cycle, something that's better for you. All right. Until I see you again, wishing you all the best. Take care.